So for the years, for all my life, including um, when we lived in Salt Lake City, um, I never, even through my high school graduation as a senior, I never lived anywhere more than 3 years, um, and it was no different. Uh, and once Alexander was born, around that time, I think it was an ICU nurse, but they hired a nanny. My mom did. She was immediately pregnant and expecting again, and that was my brother Zach. And then yeah, she immediately got pregnant again, and somebody like anonymously left a book on her doorstep, and it was a picture, like a pop-up picture book, like for adults, but like how babies are born. And I mean, it was like somebody in the ward meant to be joking, and yeah, it was. But immediately, I was parentified, and I mean, I was excited to have siblings, and I was excited. I hadn't. I mean, I had babysat since I was 8, and we were just Gen X. And I took care of my younger sister like all the time. Like, I mean, she's just 2 years younger, but so yeah, I we we had to start babysitting. I mean, like, it wasn't paid. It was, you know, and um, this is controversial because like nobody ever said anything, but I'm pretty sure that she suffered postpartum depression too. But there wasn't really a lot of time for that between giving birth and when she was pregnant again, and so it was a. Um, I went to 6th grade, and then 7th grade and 8th grade. Those 7th and 8th grade years were at Bryant Junior High, and then I went to 1 year at East High School, which was where High School Musical was filmed. But yeah, I went there, and yeah, then. So during those years in Salt Lake City, here's my family, and um, we were. It was really all about looks. It was for Fred, his like wildest dreams being fulfilled. He had this wife that everybody thought would. I mean, she had formerly been a model, and she was tall. They were the power couple, and yeah, a lot of guys had the hots for her, even in the church, and according to her, and then yeah, he's filling up this whole entire church bench, and this time, like, Vivi has not, nor has she ever joined the Church of Jesus Christ. And based on the story that she told me about how things went down with her mom and her dad, about her mom not believing, not wanting to join, and I don't know whatever issues there were about not having any more kids, and that being the reason why her parents got divorced, and I don't know, but like, whatever that was, she had a lot of animosity to the church, and I don't blame her. So I believe, to each his own. But anyway, yeah. So during that time, there was development. The Stein Erikson Lodge was kind of opened in the 80s, and all these developers were rushing to build condos super high luxury condos in the winter for opening, the next spring. The elevation is about 10,000 feet, and this the woods at Deer Valley, they missed, like it was an early freeze in the year, and the concrete didn't get poured, and everybody was rushing to develop that. So here they had taken out some like massive loan. My dad was like speculating in development, which I don't know that he had a lot of experience with prior to this, but so he's sitting paying interest on like these many millions of dollars of condos that aren't able. Now they're going to, they have to wait till the spring to, I think now they do, you can pour concrete maybe all year round, like they put plastic and there's chemicals or something, but back then, like, that was pretty much like a terrible, stressful death knell. And while, like, I don't excuse the abuse that we endured, but I think that, that money was a huge issue. I mean, I don't know. Like, my mom, spends tons of money on this house. This is what, I mean, I kind of remember this, but again, I'm a kid who's like, I'm not caring about adult things so much, and not extremely aware, but I know that they threw some very, very fancy, like, dinner parties that were catered by, like, the nicest place in the whole, like, town, and it was at our house, and I was told, and I don't know, but, like, that Steve Jobs and Steve Wozniak, like, came to our house. I don't know. Not Steve Jobs. Who's the Microsoft guy? Yeah, I don't know. Anyway, my dad had some dealings in working with the company his dad had started in Spokane, Washington, which was Keytronic. And when we moved to Salt Lake, I don't really know what was, like, his involvement in that. I do know I know that he had some dealings, like he started, and Keytronic was one of the largest employers in the state of Washington at the time. Now remember, like, Boeing is a lot larger. Anyway, it was the largest maker of keyboards, I think, in the world at the time. Like, they created pretty much every PC keyboard, and and so I don't know if he, like, cut off ties and stopped working for that company when we moved to Salt Lake. I don't know how much, like, he had been doing with that at that point. But there's this, development at Deer Valley. I know that he, began working with a company. It was called ALP Systems. It was automated language processing systems. It was one of the first, like, computer programs that was going to translate text into a foreign language, and it was one of the early ones. So, I mean, nothing holds a candle to it nowadays. So